y'all. Good day, no matter where you are and what part of the world you are in. I hope that you are having a good day. So, for some reason, this song is stuck in my head, so I'm gonna get ahead on and get it out before I start talking about what I really need to talk about. Teach me how to dug it. 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 Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. You ain't messing with my Dougie. So I just had to get that out. Um, but on a more serious note, I don't even know why that song was stuck in my head, but I woke up thinking about it, so I had to get that out. But I have a serious question. Why are some women criticized for stating what they want up front? For example, if a woman says she wants a committed relationship with a faithful man, um, so let's say she meets a guy, they go out on a date, whether they meet in person, they meet on the internet, or through a friend or family member, co-worker, whatever it looks like, right? And when she meets this guy, they go out on a date, and he asks her what she wants, and she says, I want a committed relationship with a faithful man, right? And because he doesn't want to live up to that standard, he then proceeds to try to convince her that that's not what she wants, right? Um, but the reality is, just because she's saying that she wants a committed relationship with a faithful man, does not mean that the man in front of her is the man that she's choosing. He just so happens to be there, and she just so happens to be telling him what she wants, right? So, again, it doesn't mean that she wants him to be her man, but she's saying, hey, here's what I want. Are you okay with that? If you are okay with that, let's continue to talk. If you're not okay with that, it's okay for you to go ahead on about your business. And not trying to convince somebody and be manipulative because you just want what you want, so you're going to try to manipulate them to get what you want. That's fucked up. And pardon my French, because I do try not to use profanity in front of my elders. And if any of you are watching, I do apologize. But sometimes certain things need to be said the way they need to be said in order to get the point across. Because some people are on a calm and peaceful page, but some people still on a turned up page, and so they need to hear it a certain way. I'm just saying. She just wants to know if you are long-term relationship ready or marriage ready. Ready, willing, and able to take that next step with her, to continue talking to her and building a life with her, and not going to just waste her time because you got your penis in your hand. Here y'all go. That's how y'all do. Y'all come with y'all penis in your hand. I got one of these. What you want to do with this? And we be like, oh, y'all got one of them. What else do you have? Just because you can have a woman come to you with her vagina in her hand and you all in, does not mean that all women are like that, because some women are not like that. They don't care. Yes, they want it. Yes, we want it. That's beside the point. It makes no sense when y'all say that. Yes, we like it. Yes, we need it. Yes, we want it. So what? We want it attached to something meaningful, though. Not just because you have the tools and I have the tools, so we're going to work it out together. No. Some women don't want that. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting that. And I mean, it takes time to get to know a person. And, men are wanting to know that the woman really likes them before they really invest. And women are wanting the same thing. It's just that we go about it a different way. So for some men, they'll take a woman out on a date, and if she doesn't give him sex right away, he's like, oh, well, she must not like me. That doesn't mean that. Your low self-esteem and your insecurities may be telling you that, but that's not the truth. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't some women who aren't out here using men for money or some food, or, you know, um, a place to stay or to help pay bills or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that not all women are the same, right? So it takes time to get to know somebody, and that may not happen until this woman is comfortable. And so if she meets you and you say, and she acts, and she tells you that she wants a committed relationship, depending on your answer, she be like, I need to watch this one a little bit longer. Or she may just say, yeah, I'm out, because I didn't like that answer. And then sometimes the man's feelings are hurt, or his pride, his ego is hurt because he was wondering why, but you just don't want the same things. You're not equally yoked. So it's not about you. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. But are you saying that she's not good enough if you just come in, and telling you the only thing you want from her is sex? Because that's how she's seeing it. And so if she doesn't want to be involved with that, she's going to just keep it moving. And so then if that bruises your ego, maybe we need to evaluate what we're doing here. For some women, depending on the situation and depending on the answer, like I said, and what she wants out of life and what he wants out of life, sex can happen in 6 hours, 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months to a year or longer. It really depends on the person. It really depends on the woman and whether or not when she wants to say yes and when she's willing to say yes. And so if she wants something more meaningful, she's going to wait for something more meaningful. But if she wants to use you as a tool, then she's going to use you as a tool. And just because she has sex with you doesn't mean she's all head over heels and that you just manipulate her. Because some women don't operate that way. All women are not the same. You can't just give them sex and get away with whatever you want. I used to always say when I was younger, if I could leave my son's father alone, I could leave anybody alone. I thought that, I really believed him when he said that he would, we would get married. And once I realized that, he was being dishonest, I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to end up being a single parent. And I moved on with my life. Because he wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. And that's fine. That's his life. He can do whatever he wants to do. And so can I. Just because, somebody's there does not mean they have to deal with whatever foolishness you decide to dish out. They don't have to deal with it. There's nothing about your looks, your amount of money, how big your penis is, or any of those things. It doesn't matter. If she wants certain things out of life, she's going to go after what she wants. And if that bruises your ego or hurts your self-esteem, that's unfortunate. But at the same time, you're doing the same thing to her. You're a hurt person trying to hurt someone else by just offering sex when she's saying she wants something more than that. So then if you just come with only sex after she says she wants more than sex, then you're making her feel abandoned and rejected. You're making her self-esteem low. And some people don't care. Some people are like, oh, well, I already got what I wanted, so I don't care. But is that fair? Because then when it comes back around to you in the form of a relationship with someone that you really like, and this woman dogs you out, now you're like, oh, women are this and women are that. But you had a good woman right in front of you, but you didn't want her. You thought she was boring. You thought she was a pushover. You felt like she was being demanding because she says she wants a relationship and not just to fuck. What sparked this? Derrick Jaxn sent me a poem, and I know this was like a mass message type of thing, but I'm gonna read it because it's hard to see with the glare from the. Ra, look at the sun. Look at Ra shining through that window. Ra is the sun. If you didn't know that. That's ancient Egyptian word for sun. So, it's a poem, and it says, "She's a lover, but she'll fight for you. She's not jealous. She just doesn't want to lose you. She's not overly emotional. She's passionate. She's not stupid. She just trusted you. She's not needy, but she deserves your attention. She's not insecure, but she wants you to find her attractive. She's not rushing things, she just doesn't have time for games. She doesn't have trust issues, but she hates being lied to. She's not too sensitive, but she does have feelings. She knows she's complicated, but she still wishes you understood. And I'm sure there are probably some men out there who feel similar about some of these things that, are in this poem. But I think that some men try to make it seem like it's something other than it is because that's their way of being manipulative. That's their way of trying to control her. That's their way of basically just trying to get what they want without any obligation, um, without any guilt or shame. It's just like, oh, well, let me get what I want, and I don't care about the rest because I already got whatever else I got going on over here. And so, I think she's attractive, or I think she got a big booty or some big breasts, and I just want to get me some. And sometimes that's all it is. Oh, I'm bored in my relationship, and I just want some excitement and some adventure. Or I just want variety. Or I just want to do something different. Oh, she seemed like she's stupid, naive, and gullible, so let me play mind games with her. Just because I can. So obviously for every person, this is going to be different. And again, a female can be like this. I do understand that. I do have that understanding. But I don't date women. I date men. So when I talk about a certain topic, I usually talk about a woman, from a woman's perspective, dating men. But I do have a lot of male friends, and I have had a lot of platonic male friends over the years that I did not have sex with. And they do share a lot about themselves. Oftentimes they'll reveal stories that they may not even share with the person that they're with. Because they felt like they could trust me and that they knew I would listen because I'm a good listener. So, they do share their feelings. And they do talk about, what's on their mind. Again, some of these men can't share that with their women because some women think that men don't have feelings. Or, they're somewhere like, oh, whatever. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. And they're not respecting their men and they're not honoring them and their feelings or respecting their feelings. So I know that that does exist. But, just like in the poem, basically, or just like what I've been basically saying this whole time, if you meet somebody and y'all are not on the same page, don't try to force that person to be on your page. That's wrong. It's really wrong. It's like, I remember one time this homosexual girl said, "Oh yeah, I like the ones that's straight, so I can turn them out." It's no different when men do it. So instead of turning them out, you are essentially turning them out, but turning them out, in your favor to have sex. It's basically the same mentality though. I'm going to lie, manipulate, scam, and scheme to get what I want from this person just for my own self-satisfaction. And that's selfish and wrong. I don't care what nobody says. Teach me how to dig it. Teach me how to dig it. Okay? I guess that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more. And you know what? I'm going to say something else. I think we were conditioned to believe that it's not okay for us to be ourselves. And I know that some men are very sensitive. Right? And some women are too, but I'm not talking about women right now. I'm talking about men. Thank you. So In being sensitive, if you grew up with parents who told you, oh, shut up that crying, and again, this applies to women too, because some girls were told to shut up the crying too. Keep that in mind. Thank you very much. Okay? But if you were a boy and you were told not to cry, but you're sensitive, you've now programmed yourself to be hard. And so you may still cry behind closed doors or in front of certain people, but really, that's not who you are. And then are some women who would manipulate you or take advantage of the fact that they feel like you're sensitive. They may call you a bitch, a pussy, or whatever else. And again, excuse my language for anybody who's watching, who's religious or older, because I do like to have respect in front of my elders and, people who are religious. So if you're offended, again, I do apologize. But I am being myself. But basically, you've been conditioned to not be yourself. And so there are certain women who would, again, take advantage of you and call you names or belittle you, judge you, criticize you, and try to walk all over you because she feel like her penis is bigger than yours. Because she was raised to be independent and to be a strong, independent black woman. Or woman, period. Because this is not a black or white thing. This is not a race thing. This is not a nationality thing. This is a people thing. So she feels like being sensitive or crying or not being strong is a sign of weakness. But it's actually a sign of strength. If you can open up and cry in front of anybody, really it's a sign of strength. You're being yourself. And you're showing that you're not afraid to be yourself, no matter what and under any circumstances. But again, we've been taught, what you crying for? Or you better shut up before I give you something to cry about. Or don't nobody want to hear all that crying. Go sit down somewhere and all of this other kind of stuff. Right? So it made us harder than we really are naturally. And again, some people will take advantage. But that just means you need to surround yourself around people who won't. It doesn't matter if it's a relative, a friend, a co-worker. It doesn't matter. If you're in the presence of people who do not serve a good purpose in your life and do not allow you the freedom to be who you are, you need to remove yourself from those people. Sometimes we have to create our own relatives, our own connections, outside of the people that we feel like we've known and were born and raised around, because they don't always have our best interest at heart. They have their own interest at heart, and they'll use you and take advantage of you if they can. Or they'll at least belittle you and make you stay in a low place so that your self-esteem is low, so that you never have ambition or strive to accomplish anything. They'll do that because misery loves company. And if they weren't able to achieve certain things, they want you to be the same way. Oh, just get you one of them jobs and just stay there for so-and-so amount of years and, just retire and it'll just be all right. But you somewhere like, no, that's not what I want to do. I want more out of life. I want to be a model. Or I want to be a NASCAR driver. Or I want to fly a plane. I don't know. I don't know what your dreams and goals are. I don't know what you've always wanted to do since you were little. But I know you've suppressed that for other people. I know you said you wanted to be a teacher growing up. And when you went to your parents and told them that you wanted to be a teacher because they never went to college, they say, oh, you don't need to do all of that. Just go get you a job. And now you working somebody's job that you hate, and you've been there 15, 20 years, and you can't stand it. But that calling inside of you, that life purpose to teach, you're either doing that in some way or you still want to do that. But now you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s. So now you're telling yourself you're too old to do it. But it's 90-year-olds graduating from college. So who told you was too old to still do what you want to do? It's because somebody else told you that you can't. Or somebody else told you that it's not a good idea. Why? Because their own insecurities or their own failures. It had nothing to do with you and everything to do with that person. So they convinced you that that wasn't a good idea because they didn't do it. And they didn't want you to be better than them. They didn't want you to have more than them. They didn't want you to see them they didn't want you to be more accomplished than them. And again, these were your parents, so you trusted them. You trusted what they said. You may have even said, oh yeah, I want to start a business. I want to open a business. I want to be an entrepreneur. Oh, you don't need to do that. You just need to get you a job. And again, you trusted them and you listened to them and you've allowed that to dictate your life. And now guess what? You're older and you're unhappy because that wasn't what you wanted to do. That wasn't the path you wanted to be on. You followed somebody else's path. You did what somebody else wanted you to do. And in essence, you were not being yourself. You're still not being yourself. Because you're afraid. You're afraid people aren't going to like you or they're not going to want to talk to you no more. So what? Sometimes you're better off. Sometimes when you remove yourself from people that do not serve a good purpose in your life, you meet a brand new set of people that's on a completely different page. I was watching Eric Thomas yesterday. He said, you got to be on that page with people who say, oh, I'm about to go to Dubai. And when I go to Dubai, I want to ride on an ATV through the sand dunes. And when you say that out your mouth, your friends say, ooh, I want to go too. Me and my wife going. Me and my husband going to go. Or me and my consort, my partner, my spouse. Y'all, you and your partner going? We going too. I want to get on the ATV ride in India and ride on the sand dunes too. I want to smell the air. I want to put a scarf around my neck and some goggles on and just feel the sand, you know. Get me some goggles so I can still see what's going on out there. Or at least wear my glasses, but I don't want my glasses to get scratched up in the sand. So I'll put some goggles on, you know. Like that. Those are the type of, if that's the type of life you want, those are the type of people you want in your life. If you want to own a home and you don't already, you want to be around people who already own one. Or you at least want to have a conversation with them. Because some people don't want to travel. Some people just want their home, their food, their entertainment, and that's it. And that's fine too. A lot of people just want to be, live a simple life. But do you want a simple life because you just want a simple life? Or do you want a simple life because you feel like that's all you deserve? Do you feel like you're unworthy and not enough? Do you feel like you have to stay in an apartment? Or can you look into, no money down, first time home buyer program? Even if you have a credit score as low as 550, you can still get a house. Have you looked into that? Do you know that those programs are out there? Or again, have you just convinced yourself, oh, I just need my apartment or my little house I'm renting, and me some food, and me some entertainment, and I'm good. Because you feel like you don't deserve better, and you feel like you don't deserve more. Is that what it is? Or do you really want some friends that'll say, oh, we about to go to Dubai tomorrow? early. Maybe if it's not Dubai, maybe you just want friends who say, oh, let's go to Florida. And you live in Virginia. Maybe you have friends that say, let's go to Virginia Beach. And you live in Virginia. Or what about friends who can invest in something with you? Oh, let's get this Airbnb together and make sure it stays booked. Let's buy some land together. And you put your house over here, I put my house over there, they can put their house over there. Do you want people like that in your life? What kind of people do you want in your life? Because you are the average of your top 5 friends. And within the next 5 years, you're going to be like them. So who's your top 5? And the top 5 may not be people who sit right next to you. Those top 5 could be people that you watch on YouTube. I had muted my meditation music, so I decided to put the volume back up. But yeah, those people, it could be people, again, that are investing in real estate, maybe have a business, that are traveling, that eat good food, that cook good food, have parties all the time. I don't know. I don't know what you're into. Whatever you like or whatever you want, whatever you into. What are your top 5 friends like? And when you look at your top 5 friends, do you really want to be like them or be around them? Or do you just hang around these people because you've known them since elementary school? Is it just, the fact that you've known them for a long time and the fear of the unknown that's preventing you from going towards anybody else? Because some of these people that are in your life, you feel like you can trust them and they can't be trusted worth a damn. They the ones. They the ones secretly hating on you, secretly cursing you, praying against you, and don't want you to see you do well in life. Yeah, you're not aware of that, and you really think this is your friend or your relative. Oh, that's my cousin. My cousin wouldn't do that. Oh, that's my daddy. My daddy wouldn't do that. In the meantime, you done brought a boy home. You try to introduce him to your daddy, and your daddy don't want you to be with him. So your daddy smile in your face, say, oh yeah, baby girl, I'm glad you found you somebody. But then behind your back, he kicking the boy back in and being mean to the boy on the low. And then your boyfriend tell you that, right? But you say to yourself, oh, my daddy wouldn't do that. My daddy not like that. My daddy would never do anything. And in the meantime, your fucking daddy is doing exactly what the hell this person done just told you. Hating. Because he don't want you to, he wants you really all to himself. And that's not in a disgusting way. That's in a codependent way. I don't want you to be with somebody else because when I call you and I need you, I want you to be able to show up and come for me. But in your mind, again, because you've known your daddy all your life, in your mind, because your daddy's such a good liar and a manipulator, he's convinced you and you're now convincing yourself that he would never do anything like that. And he the main damn one doing exactly that. Oh, but my daddy is a doctor. Oh, but my daddy is an engineer. Oh, but my daddy owned this and my daddy got that. And so the hell what? You obviously don't know him that well. But you think you do. A lot of people think they know their friends and relatives way better than they think they do. But people do a whole lot of stuff behind closed doors that you don't know about. But because what they show you to your face, you take it for face value. And when they show you something different, you don't pay attention to it. You excuse it and justify it. But there is no excuse and there is no justification. Everybody that's, says they're for you is not necessarily for you. And it could be mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, uncle, boss, supervisor, manager, business owner, a friend you've known since you was two. It doesn't matter. People are jealous, envious, and people will hate on you on the low. Now, I've had the fortune to have some people actually tell me. I remember one, at least 3 or 4 people have told me over the years that they were jealous of me. And I had no idea. And they were like, oh, you didn't notice so and so and such and such? No. But after that, I started paying attention to so and such with other people. When you realize that some people have that jealous spirit in them, they might, again, you may come to that person and say, oh, Ma, I want to be a teacher when I grow up. And she said, oh, you don't need to do that. You just need to get you a job. And again, you feel like, oh, well, that's my mother. She has my best interest at heart, so I'm going to go ahead and listen to her. But really, she didn't have your best interest at heart at all. She had her own best interest at heart. Because again, she didn't want to see you do better in life than she did. She didn't want to see you accomplish something in life that she didn't. And so you listened to her, you trusted her, and you respected her. And now you're on a job that you hate. That's all I really have to say. Certain things just don't make sense. And, it's unfortunate that we convince ourselves. So, whether it's with a man or a woman, whether it's with a relative or a friend, when you say what you want, you should not be judged and criticized for it, no matter who it's coming from. You should be allowed to be upfront and say how you feel or what you're thinking. It's okay to be yourself. Self-love is the best love. Love yourself, respect yourself, appreciate yourself, and don't look for that from somebody outside of yourself. Okay? Love y'all. Later.